unlimited visit, in-person, physical contact, which are, which is what killed my mom. Thank you. So sorry. She's been through a lot. All right, next we have coming to the mic, Christina Hayes of Mothering Justice.
Hello, everyone. It's good to be here with you all and having all the support here for elderly abuse and nursing home abuse. I work for Mothering Justice organization. I am a paid lead organizer. And at Mothering Justice, we look to uplift the voices of mothers of color and get people involved with the legislative process and learning how to create bills, learning how to talk to our elected officials and bring our issues that are important to us to the forefront. And we're getting ready to introduce a new paid leave bill. And one of the big issues is that people need paid time off to be able to take care of their loved ones. And a lot of people are at the age now where we have aging parents and we need to take that time off work to be able to either check on them, and just hearing all the different issues that people have faced with trying to take care of their loved ones, that takes time. And mentally it's draining, it's a lot, and to get this justice even takes time. So just here to support on behalf of Mothering Justice, knowing that we are talking to our elected officials, and with us organizing and strategizing and just being here doing this, it does make a difference. And there is power in our voices and your stories. And at Mothering Justice, we say that you are the experts based off your lived experiences. So what you all have gone through with your parents, you can't, nobody would ever know. When you're raising your voices and sharing your stories, it's a really good thing for everybody else to get a better understanding of why we organize and do this. And I'm down for connecting with you all, and let's organize a coalition and put down what our demands are, what our asks are of our elected officials, and get some type of bill in place that'll, have all of our list of what needs to happen and change for this not to continue. But thank you for your time. Yes.
If you are a sibling of a loved one that is in need of care, they have no other wife, husband, no one. You're the sibling. Are you allowed family medical leave?
Right now, we are working on the family definition of who can take that time off. And currently in Michigan, there is paid sick time, but the family definition just only includes if you are the spouse or the cousin or someone direct in care. So siblings, I'm not sure if they're included in that, but in the new bill, the family definition of who is able to take the time off is very inclusive. So if you are a friend, if you are the closest next of kin, you will be able to take your time off to be able to take care of your loved one and not worry about losing a paycheck by taking care of someone. So that's what we're working on, and I'm looking so forward to connecting with you all. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. If this was an election year, we could talk to our elected officials right here on this damn grass.
Where they at now?
But they ain't here. So that's one thing that I've learned from Trisha and Survivor Speaks, the accountability. They would be here cheesing, hemming, and hawing, taking all kind of selfies today. But they already in office now. So they don't have to come out here and do nothing. And then we forget about it when it's time for them to be reelected, because we have some career politicians. This shit ain't new. They done heard about this multiple times. And let me tell you something. When I was working with the blue shirts, when I was driving my car to Lansing, when I had them on my platform, I never thought it would be my damn mama next. I was doing it out of the kindness of my heart, and I only had empathy, but now I have experience.
There you go.
I have experience. Elected, yeah, okay. Let me stop. Next, we're going to have Diane Leach. Diane?
Thank you, everyone, for allowing me to speak. What I want to share is I have a friend that was named Christine Zajac, and she passed on now. But in June 5th of 2009, she got a letter from the Michigan Department of Community Health, and it said, "Dear beneficiary, due to Michigan's budget problems, the state cannot continue to pay for some Medicaid-covered services. These are the result of Executive Order 2009-22. It applies to all adult Medicaid beneficiaries in a household who are aged 21 and over. She had nobody. Her brother was away. She didn't have any family. So we were real good Christian friends, and I was helping to take care of her for a little while. Then she wound up, one day I went there, she wasn't there. Apparently, they called an emergency. They put her in a nursing home. It took us three to 6 weeks to even find out where they put her. And anyway, the thing is, they said they weren't going to pay for chiropractic services, which she used because that helped her to walk. She had MS, vision services, hearing aid dealers, dentists, whatever. And it says Medicaid will still pay for your doctor's visits, nursing home care, medicines, etc., etc. But I mean, she passed away. Now, what happened is before she went in there, she put her house up because that's the only thing she had in Detroit that was of value. And what she had to do is she had to get a home equity against her house because that was the only way she could live because the money she was getting from her pension and Social Security hardly covered any of her living expenses. And so, you know, when they put her in that guardianship and everything, it was like terrible because they basically took whatever she had, you know, and she didn't have any children, thank God, but the problem is that it was just really bad. The other thing is, my sister Carolyn wound up with ovarian cancer. She was a veteran, and she was having a hard time, you know, going to the bathroom and different things like that. My sister Denise had her, and then she couldn't take care of her because she had her own family. So a friend of mine decided she was going to help with her. Well, she couldn't handle it, so they put her in a guardianship. The guardianship put her in a nursing home. The nursing home put her in a hospital. She found out she had cancer of the uterus, and they took, you know, they turned around and they took care of her the best they could. But she died, you know, alone. I got to see her maybe 1 week before she died, because that was in 2017. We didn't have a pandemic yet. But the thing is that this has been going on since 2009.
Going on
I mean,
now.
this stuff has been going in Michigan for a long, long time.
For forever.
And it's about time
Say it
that we
again.
ended it. It's time that we end our abuse against our elderly people.
That's right.
Enough
It's
is
time
enough.
that we end the abuse that's going in nursing homes. And not only that, but I had gotten depressed because of some of this, and I wound up in a nursing home, and I know how bad that they treat people because I was in a nursing home. And they switched me from one nursing home and then put me in a center in Pontiac because they said I was mentally ill. But you know what? God healed me, and I give him all the glory.
All right. Man.
She's not lying about putting a house up for sale because I just had a conversation with my mother about that. The decent places are $5,000 a month. Some of them are $10,000 a month to live, and nobody has that. But if you have a home, then you liquidate your home, and then you go into those facilities, and they'll take care of you. They want control over the Social Security check, pension, and everything else, and they take over, and they leave you penniless with everything that you worked for your entire life. She's telling you the truth about that because they just talked to me about it yesterday.
That's right. That's right.
So
Medical
next up,
bills,
we
too.
will have Crystal Barnes-Linton.
Thank you. I am here representing a couple organizations. One, the Inkster Western Wayne County chapter of the National Action Network, and I wanted to get here and find out what was going on so we could join forces. And I do the bulk of my work with children fighting the school to prison pipeline. However, it was our beloved Martin Luther King that said, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere.
Everywhere.
And I heard a couple things out here that is so true. I heard my brother say it's about the we. I just heard my friend Valerie Kelly Bonner say that she rode with the blue shirts before anything had ever happened to her. And that's always my message. I gotta stand with you because I don't know when it's gonna happen to me. And
Joining
as
ahead of
working
time.
with the National Action Network, I was telling my daughter this morning, people come to me screaming and yelling when injustice happens to
Yes.
them. But when I put the call out that somebody's son has been killed by the police, they ain't nowhere to be found. So I'm here with you,
Thank you.
standing with you, blue shirts with my friend
That's right.
nursing home. It just so happened. I fight injustice on so many sides that I had to let that go. She came in walking. She never walked again.
Oh no.
They put them in a wheelchair to keep them contained and make them pliable.
That's right. When
So
they need
she
to be
never
building them
walked
muscles.
again after she lost Sandra. But injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere.
That's right.
I plan to go back and tell my folks we have to join in with you with the legislation to fight this. And I'm not a cussing preacher. However, not my damn mama.
Hey.
Well, friend, we've been friends since the kindergarten. I done cussed enough for both of us. I got you covered. I don't plan on quitting. So, it looks like, would anybody else like to have anything to say, sir?
Can I get a hand?
Come on. I got you. Come on.
Wait. There we go.
Oh no.
I got a hydraulic knee. I'm Diane's better half. And one thing she didn't break up, her parents were in a nursing home. And it pained me to watch them be in there. You know, they had to have no money at all. Every cent they had to go to the nursing home. And we came one day to visit, and I had a big cup of coffee in my hand. Her father was going through dementia. He saw that big cup of coffee, and I saw his eyes light up, and I handed it to him. I said, drink the whole thing. He wanted to pay me for it. I said, no, so, but it pained me to see them there deteriorating. Myself, somebody brought up about feces and urine. I had to go to the hospital, have a toe removed last year. After they were done, they sent me to a nursing home for rehab. But on account of the COVID crap, and that's what I call it, I respect you guys that are wearing masks, but remember, God gave us an immunity system. I refuse vaccine. Every time they test me, I'm negative. But I had to spend 10 days in isolation before I could get out of my room. But I spent one night with uncontrollable bowel movement. And it wasn't until in the morning when the nurse came in and saw the whole mess.
How about therapy during that time?
I had some therapists come in the room to work with me. My granddaughter missed her graduation, but she said, you better be out for my party, or I'll come down there and pull you. And my 10th day was up, and they took me over to the workout area. And I said, how soon can I get out of here? They said, well, I was going to be out by yesterday, because my granddaughter's having a graduation party, missed the graduation. How soon can I get out? They said, get there, I'll show you. I can get up these stairs, I can lift the weights, I can move about with a walker, I can do things with my phone. They had my discharge papers that day to get out. But watching people, even her sister, one nursing home on a party, she wanted an apartment. Well, they had her in an apartment till she started hitchhiking from the Kroger. And so they took her from the apartment to a home owned by the same guy that owned the apartment.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Now her sister wanted to know about her property. Well, she had a real nice three-wheeler that we helped her get so she could ride a bike, and that disappeared. I said, well, they want some storage, but she owes us money. So wait a minute, you're being paid by the VA and the Guardian to house her in that. On top of that, when they took her down to the VA in Detroit, they charged her. And I checked with the VA, she couldn't collect mileage, which we're allowed to. So somebody was getting her mileage. So they were getting her mileage plus charging. And this is some of the abuses in the nursing home system that are done.
This
And
is just in the transport piece.
even in the transport,
Right.
you know, transport and her property. The guy says, well, she had urinal. Well, yeah, I can understand she had a urination problem on the furniture. But when you've got a marble table, come on, you could wash that. So I know dang well they took her property, what was good, and sold.
And care assessment, that piece where you said you got up and made that effort, that is what saves you. Because if you can't manipulate, there ain't nobody there to help you. They can keep writing you off. I was waiting on something you didn't say. Sometimes it's the rehab people here, the people who register you, that wind up working against you, telling you that your loved one shouldn't be moved.
Right.
You know, they need this. And if we write them up in the hospital that they need attendant care, then that kind of kills the family unless they can be there 24/7 and do all of this stuff.
Yeah, you know, and I do feel bad myself at times when I had the problem with the bowel movement, and there's 70 years old. God, come on, I can't be doing that. But I think I had something that gave me food poisoning. My body was cleaning the system out. But I was in that all night long.
And they were supposed to come check you. You know what I'm saying?
They're supposed to check you every hour.
Yeah.
In the toilet. Where was this at, though, that you were definitely?
I was in bed.
In a nursing home.
In other words, there
So
was,
it was obvious when they would even, okay.
there was a river.
But they didn't
running
even come
from
in the
me all way
room,
to the end of the
is what he's saying.
I know. I'm saying, you can see it now. We're talking about, look, these people are understaffed. They hire anybody. Everybody should not be a care provider. I know everybody needs a job, but at the same time, a measure of empathy.
Right.
A measure of
And then-
empathy.
And then
kinda-
Yep.
like our friend Christine Zajac, yeah, it took us 3 weeks just to find her. And one of the other problem there is they get a lot of nuns from Africa. And these gals, first off, I don't know how they became nuns. Second of all, they're not really good caregivers. And she'd been in a couple of facilities where she had caregivers that, well, they'll help get her this and that. The last time I saw her live, we celebrated her birthday, and I rigged up a little slideshow for her so she could look at the pictures of her family and that. She was mostly family to us because nobody would take her anywhere. We would go down to her house in Detroit, pick her up, come back home, have dinner, go around, or wherever she wanted to go, we go.
And a lot of people, unfortunately, are just dropping in this system. They got nobody that really can take care of them. I mean, it's terrible. It really is bad. And they just lay there. People walk by you, 2-3 hours to get a glass of water. It's common. It's common. And some of these people are paid. You know, they have good health care insurance. And they're in there for a minute. It's still the same thing.
But a lot of these workers are just in here just to have a job or whatever. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? They need to like really do a check to see if you really care about the clients and all that stuff or whatever, you know.
A little bit of empathy. You may not even know the person, but that still don't mean I'm going to neglect you. I'm going to tell the boss, it ain't enough people. And if you don't get some people here, I'm calling this lady here, and she getting ready to call the press.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't just keep going. Okay. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
She died, the state of Michigan thought it wasn't their problem anymore, and they cremated her and had ashes that we had to bring up to her brother. Because they said it was not, you know, she wasn't with the state anymore, so it wasn't their problem anymore.
I got two now where they've cremated Muslims, and the people mad, and I don't want to get into it. So, look, it can happen. It can happen.
It's bad. And
Gotta have people
part
push
of the problem is taking COVID-19 back and tell them enough is enough.
Yep.
I got to go into VA for occupational therapy. But since I'm going to be in the vehicle with the person, I have to get there early, go down to the emergency room, get tested for COVID.
Why? Because because you didn't take a shot or something? Why is it?
That's every hospital and everybody's precaution.
Yep.
Nobody in the legislature is not saying enough is enough. This is what you gotta do. You know, I sat there, I had to go in to have a pig valve put in my heart. Well, after we got done with all the confusion of why I was there on a Sunday night checking in, and all the nurses I've talked to, they agree. And the only reason why I know about COVID is because the government probably educated me.
And he's already worked, he's been a serviceman. Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
You know that. So you see how they thanked you.
Well, he's got the, what's his name? He's got kind of a bum leg.
Let me just hold him.
All right, next we will have Chris Abood.
So they done called the police, huh?
Oh, they've been.
Oh, okay, they waving, so they cool.
They better be waving.
Good afternoon, Chris Abood, and I just actually came from a Detroit Federation of Teachers Retirees meeting where there are many teachers who are aged and getting to the point where they do come in canes and need assistance and will be needing facilities to help care house them. We have been to some of their nursing homes where they are living in assisted apartments where they're beautiful layouts. In fact, one's here in Dearborn, I believe, Henry Ford, that has a facility even when you don't have health issues, but you can't prepare meals and have time to do that. And what we have to do is redesign our facilities to accommodate the baby boomers. We're not the old school old people. We are the rock and rollers that still have our marbles together and want to do things. When you have in your brain, and I've talked to gerontologists from Wayne State University, you still have, when the executive part goes in the front, you still, to do your short-term memory, you still have that back part of your brain. If memory, if you get that part stimulated, which helps recall things from your past, such as if you see photos of the downtown Hudsons that you used to go to, or your old grandmother's house that you used to, which can only be enhanced by family members that know your history. And when you see that stimulation, it stimulates your fine motor skills. And this is from a professor of gerontology from Wayne State University. And this will help you to pick up that fork by yourself. Dial a phone, well, I'm sorry, not dial a phone. Push the button. Push the button on your cell phone and pick it up, which we see. We have a friend right now who's in a nursing facility who can't even pick up her phone. She can't communicate. She could do this if she was surrounded by photos and pictures to help that back part of your brain regulate. But when you're in a nursing home that has caregivers that work for minimum wage, and if the next nursing home down the street offers 50 cents more an hour, they go down there. That's what's happening. You have short-term employment, and I know this being a union person, that I have studied this, and I have seen in nursing homes that the help is not qualified to give caregiving at this upper echelon age group. They come in looking at you like, oh, you're just sitting there. Well, you know, what can I do for you? Nothing, because you don't know I'm doing anything anyway. That's not true. They would be able to do more if you had better skills and maybe higher pay, that you would do the work and have better compassion to get the things that the people need. Our friend, she just recently moved 2 rooms. One, I went in there and she's freezing to death. Come to find out, there's no heat in that room. Then the second one, she was calling me, who I lived, half the state away, because her nurses weren't answering the phone because she couldn't go to the bathroom. Come to find out, the nurses button in her room didn't work. So she's been in the 3rd room so far. It's just unbelievable. And yet she's still so capable of doing so many things. It's just like you take an infant, you look at them and think they can't do anything. But if you present the stimulation in front of them, they will do things. As a teacher, I know that. That the students come in and they just sit there, but you have to provide the environment for them. And these nursing homes are simply, they're like a stable where you put them in, check them in, and God help if you're under a guardianship where you can't even see your family. That's because they don't want you to get better. They don't want that active part of your brain that's still there to be stimulated. I know when I visited my own mother, I brought that Hudson's book, and she was so delighted. She would point out pictures. Do you know, when I was under supervision from a illegal court-ordered guardian, do you know what she wrote on me? She said I was irritating my mother showing those pictures. Well, I went to court myself. I looked up the laws, and I won unsupervised visitation because I cited the professor at gerontology who said the exact same thing. And when I walked into the in Grosse Pointe, it was the senior center there. They had the pictures of Hudson's all over the walls, and I said to them, what are you using these for? And she said, because all of our seniors recognize the Hudson, and when they come in here, it stimulates their brain. And yet I was criticized highly by John Young, as a matter of fact, in Oakland County, who took over guardianship when I applied for guardianship legally. He took over illegally for no reason except to drain my mother's estate. And she died under him. So
Couldn't even find her. We
couldn't even find her when I went to go visit her. Once I got rid of the supervised visitation, I called them all out on that. And then one night we couldn't find her. They lied to say where she was, another location. By the time we found her, she was dead. So we need guardianship reform, we need nursing home reform, and we need to elevate our seniors to make them have their best time on earth as their oldest time on earth.
Yes.
Here, let me pull this back.
Thank you. Oh, no.
Just to the wall, Trisha.
My buddy Trishad.
You all can go to the wall, but we stand right here. Those that don't want to smoke, please go to the wall.
I don't smoke.
But I just want to say, Satan, we come to tear your kingdom down. Oh, Satan, we come to tear your kingdom down. You've been building your kingdom
Well, I'm about to go home.
all over this land. Satan, we're gonna tear your kingdom down. Oh, Satan, we're gonna tear your kingdom down. Oh, Imperial, we come to tear your kingdom down. You've been building your kingdom all over this land. But Satan, we're gonna tear your kingdom down. Now let me say this. I said I was not gonna move because per the ACLU, we have the right to pull up, show up, take space, or whatever it is. Now we on our way wrapping and ending. You see how the devil is? We done had a great time. We done been peaceful. We done did it. We stepped to the side. We're not blocking their entrance, but we will not stand down. We will not be silent. We will not take down, and we're going to continue to stand on behalf of the people.
Our elderly.
And our children.
We must stop elder abuse right now.
I'm with you.
Hey, I just want to say this. One thing I learned is, and I think this is important. If you know that you have an elderly person that's about to go through any type of nursing homes care, go see a lawyer so you can get their assets.
There you go.
Right now, let me tell you a secret
Go
to
to
this.
an advocate first.
If you, what people don't know, if somebody has money in the bank that's a senior, they can make you a beneficiary. So when they die, the money automatically goes to you. You don't have to go through court. With these judges that's making these decisions in circuit court, appeal the decision to the Court of Appeals. A lot of those decisions will be overturned. And what happened is people that's in probate court, they just give up and think the judge is the automatic.
Oh, we don't give
terminator.
up.
But I'm just saying, you have to go to a higher court. You got to be prepared for that. And there's people out there that will help you do that. I know about Freddie Merton.
We
He did
shouldn't
it
even
to a
have
friend
to
of
do
mine.
that. We shouldn't have to be.
Well, but I'm just saying, but reality is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can't run from the devil, you got to deal with it, right? And it's just real, right? So I know about Freddie Merton, he did it to a friend of mine. But the thing is, nobody challenged him in the Court of Appeals. So he continued to rubber stamp what's going on, right? So you got to do that. So all I'm saying is, I got a radio show tonight.
Thank you, brother.
But I just want to say, hey man, continue to fight, but you have to protect the assets of the seniors before they get caught up in court. When you see that train coming, and go see them, and I understand that some people are leery of lawyers. I don't co-sign lawyers. I used to work for them. I'm a paralegal. I don't co-sign lawyers. Deion Webster Cox is the real deal. You don't. Where's everybody else at? What other lawyers at? You think they didn't hear about this show on the radio? Of course they did. She was the only one that showed up. You know, it's like, and I always tell people, treat people like you want to be treated. Act as if Jesus is standing next to you, right? Right? I said, what would Jesus do? What would Jesus do if he see how you treat these senior citizens? Everybody go to church, everybody want to get in heaven, but nobody want to do what it takes to get in heaven, to get there, right? And this is just real talk. So I tell people, please continue to treat people like you want to be treated, because the law of karma will visit you. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you. No problem.
Okay, well, I want to thank everyone for coming out, especially on my mother's behalf. Thank you, Kevin, family, my cousin Jackie, auntie. All of you, the blue shirts, they've been rocking with me for a long time. You all are appreciated, and there will be more of this to come. But give a big round of applause for Trisha Duckworth and Survivor Speaks for putting this on. She's always there and a warrior for justice, and I appreciate her. I yield to her. Well, we're done. May the Lord watch between me and thee while we are absent one from another. Everybody say amen.
Amen.
And now we'll step to the wall.
Thank you, Trisha.
Black coffee, no sugar, no cream. Justice for Jackie.